everyone. I'm Sandy Chi with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's Navy chief says he's intent on boosting military cooperation with the U.S. While visiting Washington, D.C., Admiral Tang Hua said he hopes to continue Taiwan's military exchanges with the U.S. Tang said both militaries have to work together over time to ensure their joint combat effectiveness. Taiwan and the United States do not have official ties, but the two sides maintain close military cooperation, with Washington providing Taipei with most of its weapons. Recent incidents of Chinese civilian drones filming military bases in Taiwan's Jingmen Islands have raised alarms about Taiwan's ability to monitor drones. Chris Gordon explains why this puts Taiwan in a tricky situation.
Footage of Taiwanese soldiers walking around the country's outlying Jingmen Islands, shot by civilian drones flown in from China. It's one of a string of incidents involving Chinese civilian drones snooping on Taiwan's military areas. Jingmen lies just a few kilometers from China, and the islands are considered the front line of Taiwan's military defense. After the drone footage was posted online by Chinese bloggers, people on both sides of the strait are asking, how can it be so easy to fly over Taiwan's military bases?
不管是机场或营区周边，各国都一样，都要配备特规的雷达去找这些微小型的无人机。这事件的话，也给陆军一个警惕：我们要科技建军，陆军要跟上时代的脚步。
Taiwan's military says they first used flares as a warning once the drones were spotted, then turned to jamming guns to send them away. But some military experts feel that Taiwan needs to send a stronger message to China.
从乌克兰的统计来看，乌克兰它这个就是我们说的 counter drone 或是 anti drone 的这个系统，它的成功率在80%以上，所以是很有机会可以反制中国的这些drone 的骚扰。那为什么这无人机还可以飞回去？我想是因为台湾的军队是比较算是说比较谨慎，它只把这个 GPS 的 signal 把它切掉。 让它出现一下干扰，它就自己就是会 return to home， 就回到它的出发地了。那在乌克兰就没这么客气了，乌克兰是直接就整个把它那个干扰掉，让它直接就是坠毁。
The use of civilian drones in this way is often considered what's called gray zone warfare activity, actions that are provocative but fall short of armed conflict. In a tense cross-strait situation, Taiwan may be trying to demonstrate that it's a calm and responsible actor.
中国方面常常会把这些民主国家的这个就是说规则当成他们就是用来那个违反规则的一个做法。所以在这一次的事件，我觉得不是台湾的 capability， 而是台湾本身的 attitude， 要展现自己是一个 democracy state， 这是最大的不同。
As Taiwan faces more pressure from China, it finds itself in a dilemma. Which is more important, deterring gray zone activities or avoiding the risk of escalating the situation into open conflict? Chris Ma and Chris Gorin for TaiwanPlus.
The Taiwan Stock Exchange hit a new high on Tuesday with the help from chip giant TSMC. The TAIEX closed at 20,796 points, its highest close ever. That's as TSMC's stock price jumped 4.6% to its own record high of $25.55. The spike comes a day after the US announced an additional $6.6 billion in grants for the company. The funds will be used to build an additional factory at TSMC's advanced chip-making project in Arizona. The head of a foundation associated with Taiwan's most valuable company is offering relief efforts in Hualien after a massive earthquake struck the city. TSMC Charity Foundation chairperson Sophie Chang spoke to Hualien residents whose homes were destroyed in the quake and visited damaged buildings there. Chang says the foundation hopes to help where government relief efforts can't and will put resources toward those areas once they become clear. The earthquake has left dozens of buildings across Taiwan unstable or in need of repair, and several hundred families may need to find new homes. John Van Triest reports.
Loose ceiling panels and bent columns. This apartment complex's car park withstood last week's 7.2 earthquake, but there's still a risk of collapse. Residents have taken to putting thick blankets on their car hoods in case more concrete falls from above. 200 households live in this complex in the northern city of Keelung. far from the quake's epicenter in eastern Taiwan, but still badly shaken. It's an old structure built with sea sand years before Taiwan adopted tough earthquake building codes. The city's been pushing to reinforce buildings like this since 2017 as part of urban renewal plans. While 70% of residents agreed to renovate the building, the financial incentives offered by the city were too low, so nothing was done. It still stands, but it's not clear for how much longer. Keelung's mayor hopes to work out an arrangement to redevelop the area.
联红社区纳入做现在立即要来推动的一个都更的标的的范围，然后连同隔壁的相关的一些国有土地，看能不能做共同的开发，这样子每个月来追踪这个案子的进度。
There are scenes like this across much of Taiwan, where local officials have talked about urban renewal for years, but progress has been slow. Since last week's earthquake, the National Land Management Agency has declared 42 buildings structurally unsound and 70 unsafe for other reasons. Residents of some of the worst-hit buildings had to move out. People like the 48 who live in this Taoyuan apartment block that's been condemned.
已经搬去饭店住了，这那个墙壁都很严重了，里面都裂掉了，都裂掉了，他们2楼、3楼。
And in Taipei, the city government is holding a meeting to persuade the residents of this building, declared unsafe, that the time has come for urban renewal here too.
要搬家就只能搬家了，就看怎么样再说吧。对啊，现在也不知道。
Whether this will be a turning point in slow-moving urban renewal plans is uncertain. And as strong aftershocks continue to shake unsafe buildings like this one, it's also uncertain what's going to happen in the long term to so many displaced people. Luffy Li and John Van Trieste in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Property prices across Taiwan have seen dramatic increases in the last 4 years. The northern city of Hsinchu has seen the highest increases, with prices going up by over 80%, and national average property prices across Taiwan increasing by 46%. Since the first quarter of 2020. Real estate agents say the steep increase is making it harder for young people to get on the property ladder. The country's property prices are among the highest in the world, with average wages being some of the lowest in advanced countries. An invasive plant species is taking root in Taiwan's southeast and threatening local flora. Research looks at why Taitung County doesn't want another shrubbery.
These little white flowers may look pretty, but in reality they belong to an aggressive invasive species. Alongside roads across Taitung County in Taiwan's southeast, 17 hectares of land have been taken over by guayuli, a bushy shrub that comes from the deserts of Mexico and southwestern US. Local officials have raised the alarm that the plant is spreading its roots and threatening native species.
它底下都是有小的，然后它一整群，它就会占据了这个植物。
The plant was first recorded in Taiwan 10 years ago. Initial attempts to cull it were successful, but the invasive shrub has made a comeback, popping up in various spots across the country. The government has provided over $30,000 to fund a coordinated operation across affected areas.
原本的计划是成功、池上以及兰屿。 那我们还是会再召开各个公所来协调各公所所需要的一个清除面积来做一个调整。
Agriculture officials are asking people not to pick the weed, which could trigger allergies and contribute to its spread, making an already difficult extermination project even more challenging. Chris Ma and Rees for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, let's explore the murals transforming Abu Dhabi into a big canvas. I'm Sandy Chi. Take care and see you next time.